We got some cool new Days Gone gameplay, a trailer and a bunch of cool info, including the fact that Sony thinks of Days Gone as a franchise already. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. First, as always, a reminder that I'm doing a giveaway for the Days Gone Digital Deluxe edition of the game with the pre-order bonuses. So follow the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win, and be sure you are subscribed to the channel as well before you enter. Days Gone was codenamed Red Chair according to PlayStation Access, who put up a video with a bunch of other cool new details about the game as well. You can find a link to that video in the description down below. So one of the things they showed were some of the random events that can happen when you travel through the open world. Like here we see some marauders push a burning car on the road to catch you off guard, and then you immediately see a sniper aiming for you as well, and some melee enemies approaching Deacon. So when Sony men said that the world was dangerous, they really meant it. And this is a pretty cool example of that. Other random events have you, for example, rescue civilians that you see right here, where Deacon sneaks up to this guy and then saves the prisoner that you can then send to a nearby camp in exchange for trust for that camp, so you can unlock new items to buy. There are a lot of stealth options in Days Gone. PlayStation Access mentions that the slower you move, the quieter you are, so that is good to keep in mind for sure. And the crossbow is really your go-to weapon for stealth kills from afar. We now learned that you can craft new bolts from trees, so ammo is not that hard to come by, and you can also make sure that you have ammo as often as possible thanks to the Thorn in Your Side skill that gives you a chance to retrieve some bolts after you have fired them. And we of course know that there are different types of bolts as well, like the fire bolt that lets you burn nest from the freakers, for example. We got a regular bolt, but now we also got a look at a brand new bolt, the Residue Bolt, and shooting that will make human enemies turn against each other, so super nice to cause some chaos. But you of course mostly have to do the work yourself with the big arsenal of melee weapons, for example, that you can find in the world and can craft yourself as well. And I did not know this, but you cannot buy melee weapons at the different encampment shops. And that is because buying something that breaks sucks, according to the developers. Because yes, after using your melee weapon a couple of times, it will break, so you cannot use it anymore. So if you spend some credits on that, that would kinda suck. There's of course still a way to repair your melee weapons with the field repair skill, but overall you will be switching a lot between melee weapons, while guns will of course always work, as long as you got the bullets that fit inside the gun. So yes, if you're going for the close quarter playstyle, then you need to search the world a lot for axes and baseball bats. And of course crafting material to make these weapons as well. We already knew that you could sometimes chase a Nero helicopter to learn more about what they are doing in the world, and likely what happened to your lost wife who you put on a helicopter at the beginning of the game. Well, we now learned that you actually need to upgrade your bike to be able to go after these helicopters and reach so-called hidden areas. So that apart from making sure that you can get away fast from the incoming enemies, you also want to give a boost to your bike to see first unreachable parts of the world, and I really like the sound of that. A storyline that will open up near the end of the game is called Horde Killer, and will have you kill all the hordes in Days Gone, and we already knew that there are 40 of them, and that you would at least encounter one of these hordes during the main storyline during the mission that was shown actually at E3 2016. So I mentioned this a couple of times in previous videos, but now it appears that there are actually 2 more occasions in the story where you will have to fight a horde. But yes, after that there are still 37 of these hordes left to kill in the open world. And a smart tactic to take them out might be by doing it piece by piece, because the freakers in the horde, so going from 50 to 500 freakers in total, will not respawn immediately. So what you can do is take out 100 of the 300 enemies first, and then run away, gather some resources, and then come back, and then there will still be 200 enemies in this horde. The horde will grow over time again though, so you want to get back to them as soon as possible, but I still think that in the end this will be a pretty smart tactic if you cannot kill them all at once. IGN had a video up discussing how Sony Band made these big group of enemies. We'll link to that as well in the description down below. although a warning for that because the audio is not that good, so it might be a little hard to understand. Not a lot of new gameplay info in that video, although we did see the main menu of the game in the background there with the motorcycle looking pretty sweet. But yeah, overall this video just has more insights in what is going on behind the scenes. And speaking of what is going on behind the scenes, well, Sony already wants Days Gone to become a franchise, with a Sony PR saying that the goal is always to make a game that people love and want more of. And we saw similar talk with Horizon as well, so likely meaning that Days Gone will not just stay with one game and that Sony already thinks of more games in this franchise. So that makes you think that Sony likely has a lot of faith in this game already and in the financial success of the game, something that is also shown by the fact that Sony Band, the developers of course of Days Gone, were recruiting new members for the team already back in March at GDC. And that was after the game has gone gold, so when the game was basically already finished. Of course, we know that we will have some DLC for Days Gone, so they are likely working on that right now. But they are of course hiring these people for the long term, implying that a next game is likely already planned after this. And that's not really weird, because Sony Band spent a really long time to build everything, and they now finally have the technology for the motorcycle, for the Horde, for the world. It would be a shame to throw that all away and start from scratch on a new game. So I think this does mean that Days Gone is here to stay, and that's really cool to see. While this is totally not a safe bet with Sony for sure, they've closed many studios this generation or did not continue their partnership with studios like Ready at Dawn after the Order 1886, or recently with Quantic Dream because they're now releasing their games on other platforms instead of being PlayStation exclusive, and it looks like they're going to do that moving forward as well. So yes, Sony putting faith in Days Gone and Sony Band is really interesting to see. And of course the marketing campaign is taking off as well. Sony released this one bullet short ad that looks really cool, and people already spotted it on TV as well. I really hope that this game will be a home run. It will at least be super enjoyable, I'm sure of that. And it releases in a great time as well, with not a lot of competition. So I think this could be a hit for sure. I'm really looking forward to it. April 26th is approaching. Subscribe for everything Days Gone, as I will be all over the game with more videos as we near the release. And of course after that as well, expect tips and tricks, guides and way more. A like on this video would be super appreciated, and check out the giveaway for the deluxe edition in the pinned comment, and also my previous video where I go over all the skills in the game if you haven't already. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.